Months, a broken foot, and complete silence from one of the most electric distance runners America has ever produced. Most people quietly moved on. They shifted their attention to the next name, the next race, the next record. But Parker Valby did not disappear to fade out. She disappeared to come back harder. And at the LA Track Fest, she did exactly that, winning the women's 5000 m in 14:49.41. A personal best, a statement, and a warning delivered all in one race. Let's be real about what that time means. That 144,941 is not just a number. It is faster than the 1:45.144 she ran at the 2024 U.S. Olympic trials. It came after an navicular bone fracture, one of the most serious foot injuries a distance runner can face. The navicular sits right in the middle of the foot where every single stride lands. Every hard workout, every rep, every race puts direct stress through that bone. For a runner who builds her entire racing style on pressure and volume, that injury is not a small setback. It is a career-defining test, and she passed it with a personal best. Before the injury, Valby was already something different. At the University of Florida, she became one of the most dominant collegiate distance runners in American history. She won 6 NCR titles across cross-country, indoor track, and outdoor track. She broke the collegiate indoor 5,000-meter record with 14,561 in 2023, then came back and lowered it again to 1,452.79 in 2024. She won the NCAA 10,000-meter title outdoors and ran 30:50:43 at the Brian Clay Invitational, a time that destroyed the collegiate record and placed her 11th on the U.S. all-time list. She was not just fast, she was the kind of fast that made people stop and rewind the video. Her racing style was simple and it was brutal. She does not wait. She does not sit in the pack and play tactical games. She pushes early. She stretches the field and she forces every other runner to make a decision, suffer now or lose later. At Florida, fields used to splinter behind her within the first few laps because she made races honest long before they were supposed to get hard. That style made her famous in college. It also made her genuinely dangerous to race against because the damage she does is quiet. One hard lap does not break people. 5 consecutive hard laps in a row does. That is exactly what the LA Track Fest race looked like. She moved to the front. She pressed the pace. She ran the hard work largely alone. And she crossed the line faster than she ever had before. After the race, she sounded emotional. That makes complete sense. A comeback is not just a fitness test. It is a trust test. She had to trust the foot, trust the training, trust her body. After 19 months of doubt and patience, she got more than a win in Los Angeles. She got evidence. Now, here is where the conversation has to get honest. Valby is back and she is clearly dangerous. But dangerous for who exactly? The U.S. women's 5,000-meter field is genuinely deep. Wayne Kalati, Elise Cranny, Carissa Schwitzer, Alicia Monson. These are experienced, strong professional runners. Nobody is handing Valby anything. But what she brings that nobody else in that field quite brings is the confidence and the history to lead from early and make a race hurt long before the bell lap. That is a specific kind of, and now she is arriving at those races with a fresh personal best after time away. Then there is Jane Hidenren, who has been on an absolute tear this season, breaking Valby's collegiate records both indoors and outdoors. American distance running right now has 2 names at the top of the next generation, Valby and Hidenren, and together they are producing times faster than anything the NSA system had seen before either of them arrived. That is not nothing. That is a real foundation. But the global picture has to be stated plainly. Of 14:49 is a strong time. It is not a time that puts you in medal contention at the World Championships or the Olympics right now. When you pull up the current world list, Ethiopia and Kenya hold 13 of the 16 spots above Valby, Faith Capon, Beatrice Shabbat, Goodaf C. These women are operating in a completely different time zone. The gap between Valby's personal best and realistic medal contention is roughly 20 to 25 seconds. That is not a small gap. That is a historical context. An American woman has never won an Olympic medal in the 5,000 m, not once. The closest anyone got was 4th and 5th place. In the 10,000 m, you have to go back to 2008 for a bronze medal that was later upgraded to silver. So, if Parker Valby is going to change that history, and LA 2028 is the target, then this LA Trackfest race is the beginning of that journey, not the destination. She already has the experience. She made the Olympic team in 2 events at the Paris trials and finished 11th in the 10,000-meter final in Paris with a personal best of 3,059.2. She knows what championship pressure feels like. She knows the difference between domestic racing and the global stage. That experience matters. What also matters is how she got here. Valby does not train like most elite distance runners. She runs 5 to 6 days per week, avoids doubling, and has made the ARC trainer in cross-training a permanent part of her program, not because she had to, but because she learned it keeps her body healthy and sharp over time. That approach, built under coach Mark Coogan at Team New Balance Boston, is designed for exactly this. A long professional career with a peak at 2028. One race does not prove everything. It proves enough. Parker Valby is healthy. She is fast and she is running like herself again. Her rivals in the United States now have to prepare for a runner who will make races uncomfortable from early. And somewhere down the line, if she closes that 20 to 25 second gap to the world's best, the entire conversation changes. The nightmare for rivals is not what she just did. The nightmare is imagining what she looks like when she is fully fit, fully confident, and racing at LA 2028 in front of a home crowd. Brian Lavelle walked into Nairobi, Kenya, as the favorite world bronze medalist, personal best of 19.664. Nobody in that stadium gave the South African next to him a second thought. Then the gun fired, and by the time it was over, Sinifo Damel had just put the entire sprinting world on notice with 19.77 seconds, leaving Lavelle scrambling at 19.93 and the rest of the field nowhere close. That was April 24, 2026. The Kipano Classic in Nairobi, a World Athletics Continental Tour Gold event. Real competition, real athletes, and a result that almost nobody saw coming. Before this race, Daniel's personal best was 19.97. He chopped 21 seconds off it in a single run. In sprinting, that is not a small improvement. That is a different athlete altogether. He came off that bend patient, relaxed, let everyone else burn themselves out through the curve, and then the back straight opened up and it was a completely different gear. Long, powerful strides, arms driving hard, head locked down. He didn't just hold his lead on Lavelle, he pulled away from a World Championship bronze medalist like he was standing still. In the final 50m, it wasn't even close. This was not a one-off either. Before he flew to Kenya, Dumbill had already won his 2nd consecutive South African national title at the Athletics South Africa Senior Championships in Stellenbosch. Back-to-back, no fluke, no debate. And this season, Akani Simbine, the greatest South African sprinter of his generation, sent Dumbill a personal message wishing him luck before one of his races. When that man is in your corner, you are doing something right. Now, here is what people keep skipping over. Dumbill was in the 2025 World Championships final in Japan. He finished 8th, so nobody paid attention, but he was there. He has stood on that stage. He has championship experience at 24 years old, which means he is right in the middle of his prime sprinting years. His 100-meter personal best is 10.22. His 400-meter personal best is 45.46. He has elite top-end speed and the endurance to carry it through the line. That 1977 is currently the 7th fastest time ever recorded in the month of April. At altitude, that result is real no matter how you look at it. And now the question everyone actually clicked for. Can Sinopo Donali go after Gout's 1967 and become the fastest man in the world in 2026? Gout is 18 years old and already running times that veterans dream about. His 19.67 sits at the top of the 2026 world leaderboard. And the way he moves, the mechanics, the natural stride, some people have already put him in the conversation alongside a young Usain Bolt. He is that special. Nobody is taking that away from him. But Dumbill is 24 prime years and he just beat a man with a 19.64 personal best and made it look comfortable. The gap between Daniel's 19.77 and Gout's 19.67 is 0.10 seconds 1000 THS. If those two line up on the same track in the same race, nobody should be sleeping on Dumbill. Not anymore. Now, let's talk about Brian Lavelle for a second, because his 1993 is actually being undersold. That is the fastest opener of his entire career. The only times he has gone faster than that 1993 were the 3 rounds at the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, where he ran 1998, 1997, and 19.64 to take the bronze medal, and that 19.69 at the Continental Tour in Hungary. Every single one of those came at the very end of the season. He is running this fast in April. Jamaican athletes build into the season. By June, by July, this man is going to be a completely different problem. His 100-meter opener was already 9.90 seconds just a week before this race.